No, you hadn't had him on before. Hey, everybody, Dr. Kelsey and Saint Kevin of MyHauntedDolls.com. Yes, he's a saint. The International Catholic Church made a saint out of him, and they have regretted it ever since. They have regretted it ever since. What is all this going on here? So, yeah, we're live.
We are live. But is anybody out there yet?
Not yet, but we're going to get started. Is somebody joining? Yeah, somebody just joined us there.
Yeah, I see the eye in the sky.
The eye in the sky. That's the third eye, the eye of Isis is upon us. You know what that is, don't you? That's the New World Order right there. We're being watched by the New World Order.
They want control.
All right, there she
is. Did she come up?
Kevin Kane. Let's bring her up on. There you go. You got her. So Catherine is with us. Catherine does dowsing rods. Well, she does a lot of different stuff, but I think you're going to talk about dowsing rods tonight.
Yes.
Okay. And Kevin's going to do his regular spirit box session.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
And I'm going to sit here and be quiet.
And you're just going to sit there?
Cave Rat is watching. Is
that's my brother.
Hey, Cave Rat. Yeah, that's right. Have you been in any caves lately, Cave Rat? Well, you're going to get to listen to Catherine and her pretty face talk about some dowsing rods after you get to listen to your brother do some spirit box sessions with this weird looking Christmas drummer boy or something.
Weirdly. Well, yeah, he is in kind of a drum there, isn't he?
Yeah, you don't even know your own dog.
I know Lucian. I've had him for about 5 years, I think. I should share this here live video. Oh, Kelsey's gone quiet. He must be.
I'm waiting on you.
You're waiting on me. You want me to go ahead and get started? Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and do that.
I thought I turned it over to you.
Oh, well, okay, here I am then.
I'm going to take myself off so you can get a better.
Lucian. Now, Lucian is an adult male spirit. I don't have a whole lot of those, but here's one of them. He, according to the story that was given to me when I adopted him from a friend of mine, Sherry, who goes by the name Dollhaven, or used to on Facebook. Lucian died at the age of 38 in an accident during a ball game. He coached teenagers in baseball. He was bent over at the mound, and the kid at bat was not paying attention. Lucian received a blow over the head when the kid swung the bat, and he passed away a few days later from the head trauma. And the reason he chose this little item as sort of his little portal is because he liked to dress up as a clown in real life and entertain children. So this is a good guy. He coached teenagers, he entertained children, and he is also quite the comedian. And I've had him come through when I was in the old house by myself, just doing spirit boxes whenever. He would come through all the time, just chattering away. And when he used to be at Dollhaven's house, she kept him in a little curio cabinet with these other dolls. And his doll was sitting next to this doll that an old lady haunted, and he didn't like her. And when Dollhaven asked him what was wrong, he says, "I don't like that." He used a word I won't use here. He said that old. So
why are you trying to be a prude now?
Well, because YouTube's nitpicky, so we got to watch what we say. So I'm going to go
No,
ahead.
YouTube is only nitpicky when you stream one of their shows.
Oh. Yeah, I'd heard other YouTubers say they got fussed at for using strong language. And I say freedom of speech.
Okay, yeah,
So-
let's use some strong language. Muscles. He-Man. Mighty.
Muscles. Forward. All right. So,
You're
let
gonna
me
put
get
your
the-
REM pod in the background?
well, I got it down here like I did last week.
Okay, I didn't know. Sometimes you
Well,
get
there's
all hyped up on a new toy and then we never see it again. So
there's Lucian, and there's the skull. Oh, get up there,
there's the
Antenna.
Ouija board REM pod.
The the Ouija. I bet you didn't know Ouija, the name there. Oui is French for yes, and Ja is German for yes. That's where the name Ouija came from.
Well, we need to do another one, call it no no instead of yes yes.
No. So it's on. Eyes are lighting up. So Lucian, this skull here next to you, if you want to play with the antenna like that, or touch the top of it, I think yeah, that'll light it up a little bit. So let's see here what we can do. We're going to use this app that I love using here, the Necrophonic. All right, let me get this started here. Oh, get out of here, TikTok. There we go. Here, I better hold this up where you can hear it. Here. Lucian, are you here? Lucian, please say. Oh, there he is. Hey, Lucian. How are you doing, buddy? If you're wondering who is this in the camera, that's Abnormal Alabama and the people that like to watch, and they just wanted to say hello to you. Please say hello back to them. Am I saying your name right, Lucian? I know it's spelled Lucian. How do you like this house we've been living in the past year? Do you like it better than the old house? Is it just you, or are there any other spirits with you? You kind of like having your clown doll to yourself, don't you? Tell me about that old lady that when you used to live with Dollhaven, Sherry. Was she a mean old lady? What did she do to you? What was her name? So, Lucian, I heard you used to coach a baseball team for teenage boys. What was the name of the team? Did they win a lot of games? So I guess you used to play baseball yourself, huh? Did you play it professionally or just as a kid? Are you still here, Lucian? Where did you used to live when you were coaching? Lucian, can you touch the antenna sticking up out of that skull next to your doll? Make the eyes on the skull light up? It'd be so awesome if you could. You can use my computer if you need the energy. It's plugged in, so. Is that true that you like to dress up as a clown to entertain the children? How often did you do the clown routine? Was it just like birthday parties, or did you actually do a circus? I heard a couple of female voices. One of them said, "What is he doing?" or something like that. What is who doing? How many spirits are here right now? Lucian, if you're still here, can you please make your music box play in your clown? Lucian, is there anything you'd like to tell us? I heard England. Is somebody here from England? Who is here from England? Lucian, you weren't from England, were you? Where were you from, Lucian? I'm hearing a child's voice a little bit too there. Who all is here with us? There's multiple spirits. Can you come up and touch this skull, the antenna sticking up right here? If you do, it'll make the eyes and the skull light up, and it's cool. How many spirits are here right now? Seven? Yeah. Is that you, Lucian? I think it is. I'm glad you're still here, Lucian. You don't get lonely, do you, Lucian? Well, got about a minute here. Is there anything you'd like to say? Tell us then what you like to say. I heard a whisper, but I couldn't hear you. You got to speak up. All right, last chance. Anything that you want to say? little kid going, he. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring this to an end so we can talk about some other things in the show. But Lucian, I'm glad you're here, and thank you. And to anybody, the other spirits that are here, thank you. If there's any spirits who don't belong, be sure that you go back to where you belong, and all spirits back away. So I'm going to go ahead and close this door and turn off the box. I'll count down from 5, and when I get down to 1, I'm going to cut this off, so you need to be backed away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Goodbye.
What was that?
That sounded like, oh.
I thought it said, love you.
Oh, is that what it's?
I don't know, but I thought that's the first impression I got. Whether it's true or
That's
not, I don't
pretty
know.
awesome.
You go back and listen to it, but that's the first impression I got was love you.
I got to go back and listen to Friday. I did one 101. No, it was Saturday night. I did a 101 with that little doll I had on here a few weeks ago that was setting off the K2.
Right.
And somebody commented yesterday they heard demon, the word demon in there.
Oh, that don't surprise me.
So I need to go back and listen to that.
We got Playful Rain up here with us.
Playful Rain.
Yeah.
Playful Rain. Playful Rain.
Yeah, that's Purple Rain, dear.
Oh, well, I can change it.
Yeah. Better change yourself first.
Change myself.
Oh Lord, help me, Jesus. Well, we're going to talk about again. We like talking about that's what ghost hunting is all about, right? That's what everything we do in paranormal research. Everybody I talk to and everybody engaged with in this paranormal stuff, it's always been about you're basically talking to the dead. Call it what you want to, but in reality, you're trying to talk to another realm. Most people assume they're talking to the dead.
Assume.
And it is assumption because we really don't know. It could be a used car salesman trying to sell us junk. We really, really honestly, if we're honest with ourselves, we really don't know. We have our beliefs and we think but we really don't know. Because it's disembodied voices, there's strange things that come on these spirit radio, so we're making a lot of assumptions. We go into let's go to Sloss Furnaces. There's a haunted, so we get these backstories. There's basically a lot of them have been urban legends for a long time. And we go in with the mindset of hearing Aunt Sue that died here in 1842. She was killed by her husband. So we get this whole backstory. So when we go in, we've already got this mindset of who we're going to hear. And that's, I think, the fallacy of most of this paranormal research stuff. Now, to go another step with it, sure. I think it's all fun. I enjoy the subject. But on a serious note, I don't think we really can sit here and say you really know what you're communicating with. That's why a lot of Christians have a problem with some of the things we do because they're afraid that it's demons. You're letting in evil spirits, and then you'll turn out like Kevin.
Kevin? What about Kevin? What am I like?
Yeah, I mean, evil.
I'm not evil.
See all that makeup he's got on his forehead? It's got 666.
I don't have no 666 up here.
666.
You don't over there you got over hidden under your collar, probably.
No, I display mine openly.
Openly.
I don't hide from it. At all. No. So over the years, I think a week or two ago, I talked about the psychomantium just a little bit. And we've, of course, Kevin uses Spirit Box, which is a radio that's been hacked, right? Because, in your case, you're using an app that does the same thing. But when they hack a radio, they're going in to make it scan. So it don't stay on a channel. It just gets a little bleep and continues on. And the theory behind that is that spirits can manipulate that to communicate with you. In other words, it makes it easier for spirits to say, "Hey, Kevin." Hey, Kevin. Um, so that so that's one way. A lot of people use what is it, EMF meters,
Yeah.
and Kevin even uses a cat ball. And I've noticed that a lot of people are using that cat ball thing now.
Uh-huh.
It's gotten to be very popular. So you've got all that happening, and so the cat ball. And I've seen stuff, and I'm not saying that it's not real. That's not the point. I'm saying that in my mind, my interpretation is we don't really know what we're communicating with. And that's fair, in
Yeah,
my
not
opinion.
always.
But I really think that there is something going on that could be anything, as far as I'm concerned, parallel universe, um, whatever. And I think that but on the other end of it, I enjoyed the subject again and whatnot. So you got spirit boxes. Over the years, dowsing rods. Dowsing rods were used. One of the big things they're originally used for was to identify water. But people had to dig
Ah,
wells. You didn't know that?
yeah, I knew about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So they would literally, and they were convinced that this would no, there's water here. Those rods would go like this, and it's right here. There's water. They would dig, and they would say, "We found water." Whatever. I can't prove or disprove it. I just heard stories. The pendulum has been around for a long time, which is basically a crystal on the end. He's got one. I've got one somewhere, but Kevin's got one.
Yep.
And it will go back and forth. If it swings this way, it's yes and no. If it swings this way, and then if it goes around in circles, it's maybe. And then if it stands still, it's screw you. And we're not talking tonight. Now, I have had a lot of success with the pendulum. A lot of success, more success with that, my personal use, than I have with any of these other tools. A lot of people are scared of the Ouija board. Kevin, I don't think is quite as shy of them as he used to be. Are you, Kevin?
No, not as I used to be, I
Yeah.
guess.
But see, the fear you have of Ouija boards and is a bunch of urban legend crap and Hollywood. Really, nobody's gotten hurt by a Ouija board. Yeah. Now, if I hit you
Well,
over the
now,
head with a Ouija board, go ahead.
now, what about that group of young kids? Was it China or Japan that were messing around with one, and one of them got possessed, and it was on camera that
Hmm.
the paramedics toting him out of the apartment, and he's spazzing like
Yeah.
he's.
I'm not there to
I
follow up on
mean,
it. I wasn't there when they recorded it. I don't have a clue. I know that I've always, since I can remember, I've always had a Ouija board. I never could get them to work, period. And I've got one in my other room over there now. I've had for years, and I've probably very seldom in my life have I been without a Ouija board. Now, when we're talking about all this stuff, can you bring evil into your house? Can you bring negative energy into your house? Kevin, what happened to our friend up in Virginia and what all they got in their house?
oh gosh, that's a whole story right there. I don't know half of what I went on.
I mean, really
I
and
mean,
truly.
we're talking about Kayleen. I mean, it was already haunted before they got there, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Or am
Kaylin and Chip have been on the show several times.
yeah, and it was already active, wasn't it, before they moved there? Or am I?
She shared a lot of stuff with me that indicated like a door not staying closed and a few
Yeah,
other things. And then she added fuel to the fire by bringing in a child's coffin and
yeah,
uh,
she is like
uh,
throwing kerosene on the
I
fire,
don't know. I think she got a lock of
and
collected stuff from serial killers and
yeah,
uh,
she's got things that belong to serial killer, and there's some
yeah,
artwork that I think one of them's got human blood in the painting or
yeah,
something. I can't.
yeah.
Golly, I just can't have that.
Oh yeah. I
But
mean, so she's really into compared with Kevin. They are really into the more the macabre. I mean,
yeah, the
they get in.
morbid.
They like the blood and gut stuff. Okay,
The
so
worst I have is I've got one doll in there. I don't know if I've had it on or not yet, but she's got
yeah,
the ashes of her. Part of the ashes of her former owner are in a small urn inside that doll's head.
and so the update on what's happening there since they really started. They got one room upstairs. They started collecting. They kind of built a museum out of it. They even got an old wheelchair that somebody died in. All this stuff going on. They've caught, and I have helped them grab off of their whatchamacallit, their surveillance cameras.
Surveillance,
They've caught all kind of activity in that room. Then all of a sudden, they had was it a flood in their basement? What happened?
I think so. There was some kind of flooding there,
Some serious
and
crap going on there.
problems with when there are problems with the TV, and
Hmm. Now, Chip has had some back problems that made it difficult for him to walk, and he's already scheduled for surgery to correct part of that. And today, he in the house. He down on his back, hit his head against a heavy piece of furniture, and is in the hospital as of tonight. That just happened. Now, my own personal experience with that is I used to live on a houseboat up at the Hiawassee River, up just north of Chattanooga. And I'm Zach Bagan, I went to Oklahoma, and which is a ghost town, used to be the state capital of Alabama. And there's a section over there that is where there used to be a Civil War prison. But the only remnants were some brick that lying just, you could see them, and a lot of them are just right below the surface of the dirt. And well, I thought I'm going to get me a souvenir. And I grabbed one of those bricks and I took it home, put it on a shelf with a few other things I collected. Not a lot, just a few little items, nothing like Kayleen and Chip. And not a super long time after that, I'd gotten up to come down to Alabama the night before, and I got a call at 5 o'clock in the morning, and my boat had sunk and I lost everything. Now, I cannot prove that collecting that stuff had anything to do with that incident, no more than Chip and Kayleen can prove that their collection of stuff did not create the issues they had with the house and Chip's ending up in the hospital. But you figure that out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kevin, you've never had anything negative with all this crap you've collected. What's going
on? Don't listen, Lucian. Don't listen to
we've got to change. Now, what good is it if you don't have something phenomenal happen in your house?
Well, I'm trying to keep the bad out. That's why there's a couple of these items in here that cause problems for others. That when they came here, I had I blessed them, and they haven't caused me any problems. So,
maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. You're blessing them, and I'm cursing them. Maybe that's
what it is.
Yeah.
You reminded me of a story I heard about 20 years ago.
Well, good.
15 years ago about, and it's going to start out sounding like a Brady Bunch episode here, but this man and his wife were in Hawaii walking on the beach, and he found in the sand, just kicking stuff around, he found I don't want to say an idol like on the Brady Bunch where they went to Hawaii, but some kind of stone or something that looked, I don't know if it had paint on it or it looked like something that to him, he thought it might have been a piece of art that somebody dropped.
Yeah.
But his wife said it was like something somebody might have used. They have ceremonies and things out here, at least in the old days. And she said, I don't know, you might want to put that back. He said, nah, that's cool. I'm going to take it home. So he took it home all right. And that whole next year, one of them's mother died. He lost his job.
Mm-hmm.
And there was something else. I think the wife got injured somehow. And so, after a while, he said, call me superstitious, but I'm taking this thing back to the beach. So he went all the way back out to Hawaii and took that rock with him down to the beach and put it back and left. And he apologized. If there was anything there listening, he apologized and went back home, and then everything got better. So is that coincidence?
Well, that's it. I mean, it's you kind of leave it up to whatever they're interpreting all that. You just go through the stories and you kind of find a common denominator in these stories, and you kind of go from there. But when I was a kid, back in the 60s, which is before I would say probably everybody here was born, this ghost thing, there weren't ghost hunters, there were not paranormal researchers as such like there is today. Of course, there was no internet and all that stuff, but there was a big, we were all into ghosts and all that stuff, even UFOs when I was a kid. It was really heavy back then. And you could drive down any road in North Alabama and always be able to identify, oh, that house is haunted there, you know. So anyway, the point is that we you back then we were advised to be careful what we purchased, even at a yard sale or flea market, because there were stories of people that bought something and ended up having some attachment or owned by a witch. And they would try to throw the item away. They would take it to the backyard and burn it. It wouldn't burn. If they tried to throw it in a lake, it would end up back on their front porch the next day. And those stories were abundant. I cannot say if they were just stories or if it was a real deal. I don't know. I have no way of knowing, just like the stories today. I mean, if that's part of it. Now, of course, with the video, I watched some, and some of them are very easy to debunk. You look at them and say, okay, that's junk. Others, what you can do with video today, you can make. I put Bigfoot out in the woods all the time on videos. Yeah. So it's easy nowadays to fake stuff, and the average person that's not really paying attention to the video may not be able to catch what's going on because you can do some of this stuff on your freaking cell phone anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to be very careful what you believe. But the point is like how much of what goes on. Back in those days, we didn't have the video or the audio. You know, some people would have a little reel-to-reel recorder, you know, a little cassette thing. But we never really used that for that kind of stuff. So it just came down to the next day. It's like, hey, John, you know what happened to me last night? Yeah, I was laying in bed, this big figure, blah, blah, blah. You know, so you had to take people's words at it. It's like, okay, I know Kevin. I trust Kevin. Kevin's not going to lie to me. He doesn't make up stuff. So he told me that. I believe him. And that's the way the stories were spread. Nowadays, you get on YouTube and somebody posts, look, I'm not just telling you a story. I caught it on camera. I've got Ring at my front door. I got surveillance cameras all over my house. Watch. And some of it is pretty freaking. I tell you, some of the most amazing stuff is because you can't really control what a dog or cat does, you know? And just to watch some videos of something strange going on with your pet, those are pretty freaking believable. A person can act, but you can't very well get your pet cat. You ain't gonna get your cat to do nothing.
Not my cat.
Not gonna happen.
No, that's just like, getting ready.
Yeah, the only time you can get them to do something is if you got some catnip or some tuna fish.
Oh yeah.
All right, salmon. I think Catherine hopefully is gonna. She's got a problem with her camera, but I think she's gonna share with us about some dowsing rod stuff. Her camera's not working, but she can certainly tell a verbal story, and we are anxious to hear about the dowsing rods. I can't find my pendulum, so I'll talk about the pendulum. All right, Catherine, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. All right.
Okay.
Dowsing is practiced today may have originated in Germany during the 16th century. It was used to find metals. And as early as 1815, Martin Luther listed dowsing for metals as an act that broke the first commandment. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
1550 edition of Sebastian Munster's contains a woodcraft of a dowser with forked rod in hand walking over a cutaway image of a mining operation. The rod is labeled Virgula Divina, Gluck Ruid, which means rod divine, German, and luck rod. But there is no text accompanying the woodcut. By 1556, I can't even pronounce the name, treatment of mining and smelting of ore, including the detailed description of dowsing of metal ore. There are many great contentious between miners concerning the forked twig, for some say that it was of the greatest use in discovering veins, and others deny it. All alike grasped the fork at the twig with their hands, clenching their fists. It began necessary then that the clenched fingers should be held toward the sky in order for the twig should be raised at the end where the two branches meet. When they wander hither and thither at random through mountainous regions, it is said that the moment they place their feet on the vein, the twig immediately turns and twists, and so by its actions discloses the vein. When they move their feet again and go away from that spot, the twig becomes more immobile. In the 16th century, German deep mining technology was an enormous demand all over Europe. German miners were licensed to live and work in England, and particularly in stanninaries of Devon and Cornwall and in Cumbria. In other parts of England, the technique was used in the royal mines of calamine. By 1638, German miners were recorded using the technique in silver mines in Wales. The Middle Low German name for the forked stick Y rod was, I'm going to pronounce this, Schlag Ruthie, meaning striking rod. This was translated in the 16th century Cornish dialect of Dushan. Now, I'm not sure when they started using these rods for other things. Okay, in 1662, dowsing was declared to be superstitious or rather satanic, though later noted that he wasn't sure that the devil was always responsible for the movement of the rod. In the south of France in the 17th century, it was used in tracking criminals. Its abuse led to decree of the Inquisition in 1701 forbidding its employment for the purpose of justice. That's interesting, isn't it? Tracking
Yes, it
criminals
is.
with a dowsing rod.
Yeah. Wow.
Um, let's see. It is Y rods, and then they turned into L rods. Y rods were the most common dowsing rods. It is a forked Y-shaped branch from a tree or bush. Some dowsers prefer branches from particular trees, and some prefer the branches to be freshly cut. Hazel twigs in Europe and witch hazel in the United States were traditionally commonly chosen. As the branches from the willow or peach tree, the two ends of the forked side were held, one in each hand, with the stem of the Y pointing straight ahead. The dowser then walks slowly over the places where he suspects the target. For example, minerals or water may be, and the dowsing rod is expected to dip, incline, or twitch when a discovery is made. This method is sometimes known as willow witching. All right, the L rods, like we see pretty much today. Many dowsers today use a pair of simple L-shaped metal rods. One rod is held in each hand with a short arm on the L held upright, and the long arm pointing forward. When something is found, the rods cross over one another. If the object is long and straight, such as a water pipe, the rods may point in opposite directions, showing its orientation. The rods may be fashioned from wire coat hangers or wire flags used for locating utilities. Glass or plastic rods have also been accepted. Straight rods are also sometimes used for the same purposes and were not uncommon in the early 19th century in New England. It's interesting. There's been several studies out there about them.
So, what do you guys think about them?
I think they work.
Yeah, I think so too. I've seen them. We've used them in our investigations with when I went out with Scare of Alabama, and they would answer yes and no with those things. Where we'd tell them, put the rods in for yes, and then out for no, and we
Okay.
get some responses that way.
If you're under 18, leave now. Because there's a special divining rod that I was told about years ago. Okay, so just if you're bashful, if you're intimidated by adult conversation, you need to leave right now. Are you ready? Are you ready? Get his rod's work off the screen there for me real quick. I want to make sure you get a good, vivid mental image.
Where is that thing? There it is.
It's your thing. It's still there.
That thing. What's still there?
The rods work. Playful ranges.
Oh,
I want to
okay.
clear the screen.
Okay,
so I
hold
can
on.
show
Let me
this
get that out of
picture.
the way. There you go.
Okay, ready? Everybody ready? You're looking at the screen, everybody? Here we go.
Yes. God.
Okay, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Caitlin, one of our special guests, and very remarkable lady out in Montana in no man's land out there. She's a very talented woman. Actually, all the women we have on our show, Catherine, every one of them, they are multi-talented. If you notice, they don't do just one thing. I mean, really, I do well to just get up in the morning myself. But anyway, so
That he does.
so is there anything else you want to share about divining rods? How they're used in ghost hunting? Have you, can you kind of hone in on that with it? Hello, Wyoming. I'm sorry, I said
Oh,
Montana. She's Wyoming.
Catherine's on mute, so I don't know.
Yeah, she's not talking right now. So,
I missed your question. What was your question?
do you have something you share to really just hone in with the dowsing rods with ghost hunting?
I will in just a minute.
Okay, yeah, great. That'd be nice if you could. And so there's a lot of different tools we use. While she'll be back with us in a second. There's a lot of different tools that we use. The modern techie toys, and then these dowsing rods and the pendulum and so forth has been around forever. The psychomantium I touched on the other day. We could do a whole show. We could do a whole 6 months of shows about talking to the dead, right?
Yeah.
So Kevin does all these haunted dolls and other items. Have you ever done a spirit box session on that doll house?
Yes, I did. It's out there on my channel.
So I missed that somewhere. Did anything happen of interest?
Yeah, there was the story with that house was there was a older gentleman that built it for his grandkids back in, I guess, 1958.
Uh-huh.
And he modeled it after the house on Bonanza. What's it called? I can't remember the name of the house on Bonanza.
Yeah. If you shut up, I get it. The Ponderosa.
Ponderosa.
Yeah.
And
Ponderosa.
but yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, but shut up.
Hey, you shut up. Shut don't go up. Prices do pay up now. Shut up too.
I'm not your stepbrother.
But yeah, I found that house at the Mary's Doll House here in it was in Vestavia. Now it's over on Oxmoor, over here in Homewood on near Oxmoor. But she had gotten it from the family of that man, and it seemed like ever since that house went in the store, at least when I was there, she told me this. They'd come in the morning and they'd find price tags missing off half the products. Some of the tags would be on the floor, and the others would just be vanished into thin air, never to be found. So they put new price tags on, and then things would be fine. Next morning they come in, the price tags would be gone again. So she wondered if there was something with that house. But when I did my spirit box, I want to say the man's name was Richard that came through. It started with an R. I have to go back and watch it. But he spoke, and I heard a couple of children with him. I think it's him and a couple of his grandkids. But one of them loves cats, because I know my cat Maddie she's always curious about it, wants to try to climb inside it. Of course, cats are curious anyway. But she's one of those that's not your average cat. She doesn't play with the average toy. She's kind of, But boy, she loves that house. I've caught her climbing on top of it a couple of times. But I have to go back and watch that. That was a 25-minute video I got of that dollhouse, and that man's voice was coming through answering questions. And he said his name. He said he had a couple of his grandkids with him. I don't think he ever said their names, but I caught sounded like a little girl and a little boy talking really low on the spirit box. But as far as any physical activity, nothing has happened since I've had it. So, which is a good thing. I guess they're happy.
Well, yeah, but
And
I mean, you got all that.
but we got me and my sister and I, we cleaned up that house really good too. It had some mold inside it. We cleaned it out, put some fresh paint and flooring in there. So he's probably happy we restored his house. We put some fresh stain on it, so it looks real good. I think that made him happy because his whoever the relative was that had it kept it thrown in the basement somewhere and didn't take care of it.
Wow.
But I've got some furniture in there, some old little dollhouse, antique looking furniture like the Ponderosa would have.
All right. Catherine, you come up with anything yet?
She's still on mute.
I have.
Okay.
It just
All
takes
right.
me a minute to unmute because then I don't want the dogs barking in y'all's ears.
But we like dogs barking.
Oh,
Did you hear that?
Before I forget, tomorrow is a special day.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, it's my day of demise.
His day of demise.
It is exactly 10 days till my birthday.
What's your birthday, old man? Kevin?
Mine's January 19th. So
you're not far. You're not far at all. Most everybody that we've connected with is December babies. Victor just had Victor's is in the middle of us somewhere.
His is the 12th.
Right. Okay. Right after yours. And I forget who. What about what's her name? Amanda.
Hers is I think hers is Christmas Eve.
I mean, really, we'll meet somebody and we'll get along with them, and it's like, when's your birthday? Well, it's December. It's like, oh, okay. Ooh.
Most people, I find myself attracted to Sagittarius.
Except for me.
Sagittarius.
So, okay, so go ahead, Catherine, and let me stop interrupting, and let's hear about using dowsing rods for ghost hunting.
Okay, this is from Patty Starr, certified ghost hunter and president of Ghost Chasers International. She's actually released an instructional video on dowsing for ghosts, and it'll show you how to find the spirits with the two L-shaped brass rods, and then with one rod, how to ask the yes and no questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, dowsing for ghosts has been used for many centuries by many different cultures. The L-shaped rod is probably the most ancient of all dowsing instruments. The word dowsing means to use a rod or pendulum to find something. It was a method used when searching for water and minerals. In our modern day, large oil companies, police forces, mining operations, and farmers employ skilled dowsers. After World War I and during the Vietnam War, dowsers equipped with rods were used to locate booby traps. I'm dyslexic tonight. And underground tunnels. Both animate and inanimate objects have energy fields. Everything that exists in the universe is ultimately pure energy that gives off a vibrational frequency. This would include every particle throughout word, emotion, object, and experience. When you douse for a target, you tune into its frequency. The response from the rods means you are reflecting energy back to yourself for interpretation. Through experimenting with and research in dowsing has led to believe that the dowser responds to electromagnetic fields given off by the object that is sought. I feel that this is very reason is why dowsing works so well with the tri-field natural EMF meter. She says when she's dowsing with a single rod and asking yes and no questions to the ghost, the EMF meter goes off with some of the responses. Once while she was dowsing, a spirit that thought she had lost because of the rod remained motionless. She asked the spirit if she still was with us. Just at that time, the EMF meter went off and had a tremendous signal for a good 45 seconds. As a matter of fact, she was able to use her EMF meter again until she realized that the presence of the young male was so strong that he drained a new 9-volt battery. Later, when she played her cassette recorder back at the exact incident, so you can hear her asking if she's still with us. And just as the EMF meter goes off in the background, you hear a very breathy yes. With this experiment, she had a positive response of 3 mediums, a dowsing rod, EMF meter, and audio recorder. All of these instruments were able to pick up the disturbances in the electromagnetic field by translating the frequency of the communication with a ghost in the spirit world that resulted in a voice answering an intelligent question captured on an audio cassette. Hey, Kevin, next time we go on a hunt, how about I bring the dowsing rods too?
Well, okay then, because I don't have any here. I thought
Um,
about ordering some.
I got a portable set. I mean, collapsible set that Kelsey got me.
Yeah. Have you said some of them? One of our team members had it where they light up on the end. It was really neat.
Oh, I don't have any of those.
Yeah, they got them on Amazon.
Mine are just
But,
regular. They
it
fold
don't
up.
matter.
They fold up and they're fun. They're fun to
Yeah.
use.
Catherine,
A rod's a rod.
I've got an idea,
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
Catherine. We're going to
Yeah.
get a couple of those little cat balls and
Yeah.
super glue them on the end of the divining rods.
Okay.
That way, say
Okay.
either use the dowsing rods or light up the cat balls. This will be
That'd be funny.
we can market those.
The
The dowsing cat balls.
dowsing cat balls. Lord
Yeah.
have
I
mercy.
noticed people, Kevin, have been using those cat balls.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I've been noticing that.
he started
Yeah.
he started a fad.
Hey, I started a trend.
You did. You started a trend,
Ghost
Kevin.
hunting trend.
It is right at 8 o'clock. We've been going for an hour already, people. We're getting a lot. We're getting.
Already?
Look at those hearts popping up there with the
Yeah, the hearts
all
and the eyes.
the all-seeing eye. Thank you all for joining us and share this. Put it out there. Help us out. We've been doing this. We're just a few short months shy of going into our 4th year of doing this, and we enjoy it. We enjoy the subject. Keep in mind, folks, we are not making any money doing this. We're doing this because our heart is in it. Even as cold as Kevin's heart is, it's still there.
Hey,
And
cold as my heart.
we have fun. I call this this is my weekly church service. So, oh yes,
I started to bring in my my buck collar tonight to mess with Kevin.
That's what-
so Kevin voluntarily brought out his flute. Do you want to twerk for us again?
no, I don't want to twerk for us again.
I'll play some music. if you want
No,
to.
I don't want to twerk for us.
I think the twerking is best when you're
I'm
playing
not
the
a
flute at the
twerker.
same time. You are too. People love
I'm
that
not
video.
a twerker or a twerky.
It's gone
I
viral.
That's
I
gone
was-
viral.
I was
Well, that's
watching.
enough then.
I was watching travel TV and they showed it there. Zach Bagan put it up there and said, "What is this? That's
the
scary."
haunted twerk.
And his partner saw you twerking and he went, "Oh,
He's demon possessed. It's causing his butt to wiggle. This is what happens.
Hey, Kevin, we do have a new place to go to, and also there's a cave up there really close by, and I
oh,
want to take the
he's familiar.
dowsing.
He's familiar with that cave, I'm sure."
I want to take the dowsing rods and the spirit box into the cave.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, Kevin, do some self-promoting real quick.
self-promotion.
And
Oh, boy. Let's see. Where did he hide my stuff? Here it is. myhauntedDolls.com. Just go there and shop, shop, shop. Buy, buy, buy. Spend, spend, spend. And all my books are out there. I think I still got them priced a little below Amazon and some of the other places. And I do ship priority, but at least you don't have to worry about if you want to buy a Christmas gift for that paranormal lover in your family. I've got the books out there. Got supernatural novels, and there are every time I come out here, my book covers are missing. Here's another one. I've got nonfiction about some of the items in my collection there. Now you can see the full cover. And then You can even get bumper stickers that say myhauntedolls.com. I've got one on the back of my truck or SUV or whatever. So there you go. myhauntedolls.com, myhauntedolls.com. Bye.
I accidentally,
You accidentally what?
I accidentally took you offline.
What?
You were going so you were yakking yak. You were so full of yourself you didn't even recognize it. So I'm waiting to get my bumper sticker.
I heard him the whole entire time.
Okay,
Well,
good.
it was only a very brief second. I accidentally
Oh.
put myself on and I knocked you out by mistake.
Ah.
No, I did not.
Caitlin, I added you as a friend. I accepted your friend request.
She doesn't have any friends. She doesn't like people.
I
She-
don't like
Listen
people.
to
She don't
I like
like
Dave
people.
better.
Being mean to
You
the
like-
special guest.
Let me tell you what. If it wasn't for Kevin, we would probably not like anybody.
Uh,
Well,
All
I've
right.
done something positive for you.
Well, did you tell him about my book, or you just shamelessly self-promoted
Well, I mean,
dang
put
self?
me off. Let's see. Here's another thing for here's something. No, that's
All right.
me. That's
Oh,
me. Hold on
hell,
a second.
Kevin. Oh, hell, Kevin.
There's the book cover right there.
Dating the Dead. And you learn about it by going to datingthedead.com. And of course, I need to get my banner running down here just for the sake of it. Where is it? Did you get rid of it? No, there it is.
just
Okay.
so you know, I promoted your book today on Facebook, Dating the Dead. Some guy had posted a photo of a dead body that they had posed in a sitting position in a chair.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, you need to go read Dating the Dead by Dr. Kelsey Graham. It's some very interesting stuff to read.
I've got to order some more. I'm out of them, and I've gotten reviews on them too. Okay, we ready to move forward, folks?
Oh,
Are we ready to
I
move
guess
forward?
so.
Let me give a little introduction here. You know what that is? What is that?
That's a pendulum.
Pendulums are one of the many tools used by ghost hunters and psychic mediums. See, I'm not a psychic medium. I'm a psychic fool. In the hopes of fool, F-U-L-L.
Oh,
In the hopes of picking up energy and connecting with spirits. They work, and this is an interesting thing, they work on the same principle as dowsing rods when it comes to detecting energies in a space, and K2 meters or other devices used during EVP sessions. It's all about energy. That's why they don't work with Kevin. There's no energy there. But the idea is that the individuals, usually a medium or a fool, holds the chain of the pendulum between their forefinger and thumb and begins to ask yes or no questions. And of course, maybes. There's always a maybe. In theory, the pendulum would swing in different ways depending on the answers. Swing to the right for yes, to left for no, or clockwise versus counterclockwise. The movements can be subtle, or the pendulums can swing so violently the weight rips off. I've never had one swing so violently that the weight tip rips off, but I've had them. You can feel the tug on it. Have you ever done that, Kevin?
yeah, I felt a little tug before when I was.
Oh, I mean, that's the pendulum's been the big thing that's always worked for me for some reason, and really and truly, it don't always do that. But if you're really connected at some point, you can feel that just like it's being pulled right and left or around or whatever. You almost have to fight to hold on to it. But anyway, some skeptics compare pendulums with Ouija boards. I'm not saying, now let me make this clear. I've talked about Ouija boards. I'm not saying that you can't have success with Ouija boards simply because I say I haven't had success with them. I cannot speak for you. The only other thing I will say is I don't believe Ouija boards have any more ability to bring in an evil spirit than your mind does. But other than that, sure. Well, some people have the ability to get messages without using any tools. So how could I say a Ouija board does not work? However, those who believe in the authenticity of pendulums say they should only be used by those who can control their own energy and keep it safely separated from the energy in the pendulum. That is, in essence, saying to make sure that you are not controlling the movement of that pendulum. So that's my take on all that, folks. So I've had that tool has been the one I've had the most success with. That and just my corrupted mind.
Your corrupted mind.
Yeah. So 804. Any stories to be told? Share. Do Catherine, you find any stories that of people coming up with something scary from the use of any of these tools, the rods or the pendulum? Y'all able to find any stories where somebody used it? It's like it took them to a horrible situation.
Well, yeah, I've got ghost stories galore on the Ouija board.
Okay, Caitlin's got
Oh, and she's looks like she's got a funny story.
how to find a lost pendulum when you typically use pendulums to find lost things.
Well, I'm gonna try using
Oh,
my dowsing rods. I have misplaced my wallet. Can't find it anywhere. I'm gonna try to use the dowsing rods tonight to see if I can find the wallet.
Let us know. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Keep us
yeah.
updated. Share that on Abnormal Alabama and remember to tell us about it next week. In fact, get somebody to video you going around doing it. You know, get your cell phone and give it to Elizabeth and say, film me so we got evidence that it worked. And make sure you do like Zach Bagan, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never seen that. I don't, I only know, here's the thing. I don't watch TV. I do not really know who Zach Bagan is.
Yeah.
Well, I've met him in person, and he's a nice guy. He's just real goofy.
Well, let's be honest, he's an actor. Okay.
Actor.
That's it. He's an actor. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Acting.
I just haven't, I mean, I'm not a big television person, and
Well, I'm not either, but the only TV that ever gets turned on is the one above a fireplace in the living room. Once in a while, recently, I'll sit in my recliner and it always stays on the Travel Channel. Always. Now, when one of the caregivers comes by and I'm not home, sometimes they'll sit there and change my channel and I get pissed. But I've never. I used to watch Zach Bagan, but there's a lot of interesting shows on there, and Zach Bagan does not fill up the whole space on that show on Travel Channel. So, I've only seen him just a little bit. I read about him more than I see him because he'll pop up in the headlines. Zach Bagan buys another haunted house. Zach Bagan buys a haunted boot, whatever.
Vegas buys a demon house and burns it to the ground, so we'll never know if it was real or not.
So Catherine's got an interesting thing that she's going to do. She's going to use her rods to try to find her wallet.
Yep. My battery died in my car, and so I've been driving either Elizabeth's car or mother's car, and it's between my house, Elizabeth's car, my mother's car, and or your car. I was going to check under your seat to see if I've left it in there, and because my purse broke, and I was just carrying my wallet, so I need to find my wallet.
Kayla said that she lost her pendulum, and so she bought a new one, and right after she bought the new one, the old one turns up. So the new one found the old one, the lost one. I guess that's. I think that's the funny story she's sharing.
Yeah.
And Caitlin, I do want to remind you that we'd like to have you back on, and you said you wanted to talk about another subject that we didn't get into much last time. So get with us and let's schedule that for upcoming Tuesday. We got a lot of guests that we'd like to have on, and Caitlin is one of our favorites. So, yes. Hold on a second. I'm going to mute myself. I got to deal with.
Okay. Shall I tell a spooky Ouija story? I'll go ahead and do that.
Share your spooky Ouija story.
Okay. Well, I've got a bunch of them here. Here's the first one about and these are people that have written into Reddit and other places online. This guy named Justin says he played with a Ouija board one day with several of his friends. They asked it questions, but instead of the planchette moving to certain letters, it began moving in a strange pattern. It went to all four corners of the board and made an X, the 32-year-old New Jersey resident told Reader's Digest. Then it just went in circles. The next time he used the board, it was with a different friend at his house. Again, the planchette moved in the same strange pattern. Justin says, I felt like it was some kind of a hex. Later that night, when he was sleeping, he felt a forceful hand grab his arm and wake him up. Everyone else in the house was sound asleep. And that is Justin's story. And I've heard people say here in recent years, and it might be because we were just talking about Zach, he's brought this up, Zach Bagans, is that there's, for some reason, a lot of demonics love to use the Ouija board to come through. And they said there's one called, is it Zozo? That supposedly, if you're not careful, he might come through and trick you into thinking he's a spirit and he's really just an evil demon. I would say personally, even though I get teased by Mr. Kelsey, I would say personally, I'm not afraid of them. I like anything else, like the spirit box, anything else, you got to be careful when you use it. And be careful who or what you're talking to and make sure it's done properly and that you close the door and say goodbye when you're done. That's what I do with the spirit box.
All right, so you can't see it, but I got invaded by these people with balloons and
balloons. I see a black one.
yeah, and of course, I'm not really into birthdays at all, so I don't know why they did this. I gotta show you that, and it's not till tomorrow. Well, they're just assuming that I'm gonna die tonight. They want to get it over with. So
yeah, just in case,
yeah.
People love you whether you would admit it or not, Kelsey.
I'm gonna give her this cake back because it's big, and I could just. What if I move the camera and just smash this in her face? Y'all want to have a cake smash?
It's pretty.
Somebody-
Yeah, gratitude.
Yeah, we could smash it right there.
All right, Julie.
How
Thank
about
you.
that? Thank
I've
you.
got a show to do now.
Let's go. It's pretty though.
Thank you,
Show
thank you,
off
thank
this cake, make us
Thank
all
you.
hungry.
Well, they knocked on the door and I didn't know what they wanted, so I assumed that I was going to, that's why I muted and everything because I just thought it's like it must be an emergency or they wouldn't bother me. And of course, it was an emergency. So,
It was an emergency. It's
Yeah.
your birthday.
no,
Yeah.
geez, it's not till tomorrow.
I know it's
Well,
tomorrow.
And
My
to be
dad's-
technical, it's about 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, in fact.
Oh, My
But
dad's
to be
is today.
fair, I was born on a Tuesday. Yeah.
wow.
And
My-
my dad was not at the hospital when it happened because he was conducting a Bible study group.
Okay.
Yeah, so there you go.
Well, this was my dad. My dad's birthday was today. He turned
Well,
74.
tell your dad happy birthday and that I am glad that there's somebody older than me out there.
Tell him I said happy birthday too. And you
Okay.
know what? That's the reason we connect with him is because he's a Sagittarius also.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
why do we connect with Kevin? He's not a Sagittarius.
Yes,
I'm
but
a
Kevin is
Capricorn.
the son of a Sagittarius.
Yeah, but you know what? And we feel sorry for Kevin.
Well, I guess that's better than being a son of a bitch.
Well,
You're a
that's
son of a
that's why,
Sagittarius, Kevin.
that's why we feel sorry for you because you are a son of a bitch.
I'm a SOS, son of
Yeah.
Sagittarius.
You're a
There you
son
go.
of a Sagittarius.
That's pretty good.
SOS.
That's pretty good.
Well, I just told a Ouija story while you were getting your cake.
Yeah,
there.
yeah, they tried to surprise. Well, they did surprise me because I don't make a big deal out of my birthday at all. I tell people it's just reminding me that I'm another day closer to my death. It's all it's good for. So
Like
Now, see, what if I died the night before midnight, never made it to 67? What are they going to do with the cake and whatnot?
I guess they
We'll
better
eat it.
just eat it at the wake.
I don't know. I don't like cake.
You
I
don't like
love cake.
I love
love it.
cake, but cake doesn't like me.
I
How about
love
that?
it.
So, well, you don't, breads are bad for you just in general.
Food
Dude, but it's
itself
so
is bad for
good.
me.
Yeah, we can tell looking at you, Kevin. It looks real good. Stand up and let's go get.
All
Wait a
kinds of
minute.
bread.
Wait a minute. Okay. Now we're going to have to remove ourselves so we can
No,
see all.
I'm not going
So we
to
can see
flash my
all.
belly on the
So we
screen.
can see all of Kevin.
No, no. Oh, listen.
Kelsey,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
noticing, did they get you black and orange balloons?
Yes.
Those are Halloween colors.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought it. I thought
They
it was black
know
and
they
gold.
clearly I am known for liking things that are dark.
Oh,
I guess that's the reason he likes us, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how could you not like somebody that lives with ghosts? Kevin, what's that behind you? What is
Ain't
that?
nothing behind
Yeah,
me.
there is. Oh, your hand. That's what
It's
it was.
probably one of the ghosts behind me.
All right, who's got a story for us?
Well, I got another one.
Now, I like Caitlin's story. Caitlin, thank you for sharing that. She lost her pendulum. How do you pronounce that, Robert? Pendulum.
Pendulum is what I've heard.
Pendulum. And she couldn't find it, so she said, "Well, I'm going to have to buy another and replace it." The new one found the old one. That's an interesting story. So that gave Catherine the idea of saying, "Ooh, maybe I can find my wallet."
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
here's
so if you go out and buy a new wallet, then the old one will show up.
there you go.
Okay,
That's
that's what I need to do is go buy a new wallet because my wallet. I do have two wallets, and both of my wallets are missing.
Oh,
So
good Lord. You're walletless.
I'm walletless. I guess one of the kids knocked it out of one of my wallets out of the car, and they picked it up, and they had taken it into my mom's house, and they set it down somewhere, and they don't know where they set it down, and we can't find it anywhere. We have searched the entire house.
Well, it will show up. And
It
you
will.
have keep in mind you haven't been in your Explorer in a long time. It's probably in there.
No, it's not in the Explorer because the Explorer was broke down. Well, it's
Okay.
not broke down. It just needs a new battery.
Okay, I want to go back to the pendulum again because I
Oh.
didn't take time to really explain the usage of it. I don't have an article on that because I know how to use one for ghost hunting. And we also use them. If you notice there at the bottom of the screen, the Witch Doctor's wishing machine now on sale, thewishdr.com. I did have a Black Friday sale, knocked a few dollars off of the wishing machine, the basic model. So if you want your wishes to come true, send your intentions out to the universe and get a wishing machine. Raving reviews. I've sent these all over the world, literally, from Dubai to Germany to Australia to the UK constantly, Canada, Mexico. I got one I just sent out yesterday. It went to the UK. I've got another one that I just got to put the labels on, and it's going to India tomorrow. So get yours now while they're on sale because I will take that Black Friday sale down like pronto. The reason I bring that up, besides I need to make money, is the fact that I want your wishes to come true. And that some people, instead of using a stick plate, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to thewishdr.com and learn about this subject. They will use a pendulum to set their frequencies on this machine. And it works in a similar fashion if I was doing ghost hunting. So you would, wherever you're doing your paranormal research or whatever, you would have your setup. And really all you need is a pendulum. You don't need much of a setup with that. And you start asking questions. The first question you ask is there anyone here that we can talk to? Right and left or yes or no, whatever you want to set it up. And then the pendulum will start moving accordingly. And if it says yes, then you would stop it. And then you would say, is it okay to ask you questions? You get permission. You've probably seen Kevin kind of go through this when he does the spirit box. You want to be courteous with it. Thank you. You want to be courteous in your approach to dealing with these. You'll get better reaction. And Kevin is living proof that you'll also keep the negative out of the situation. If you're a gentleman, you'll attract positive energy. If you're Zach Bagan, you're in trouble. So anyway, that's the way you start it. And then the evident questions are just like he does with a spirit box. Because you've already set up right for yes, left for no, forward for whatever, you set it up the way you want to set it up. And then you start asking, once you get permission, then you start asking the questions. Are you the ghost of whomever? Or did you live here? Are you a good spirit? Or, just any questions you want to ask and let it answer. Mostly in my history with it, we specifically didn't have to be in any particular place, but we'd ask and say, is it okay to talk to the spirit world now? And then you would go into it'd be somebody that would talk to the granddad, and we'd specifically ask for their granddad by name. So anyway, that's kind of the way that works. And again, just like with anything else you do, the proper way to do it is then properly close it out. Don't leave that door open. Close it. And when you get through, you thank them. Thanks for communicating with us tonight or this morning, whenever. And we want to close this door now so all spirits leave. And, thank you for your time and blah, blah, blah. And then Kevin does a countdown and the door's closed. And that protects you. Am I right about that?
Yep. That's
Okay.
correct.
So anyway, I want to do that real quick. I assume that you guys have something to share with us instead of me just yakking on and yakking on.
I got some more spooky Ouija board stories here. Here's one from a guy who, I guess this was a guy or a girl. No, it was a girl, played it on her own, solo play. And they say, don't play alone, at least on the instruction box says, don't play alone. But she did. It says, most people play with a Ouija board in groups, or at least with one other person, but Asiana wanted to try to use it on her own. She put her hands on the pointer and asked questions, but nothing happened. She took her hands off of the pointer and was about to put the game away when the planchette began to move around on its own. I'll never try that again, says the 30-year-old from New Jersey. Well, that was a short one. So she was asking questions and it didn't do anything. But as soon as she let go, it started moving on its own. Now, why is it they say don't play, or at least on the Ouija board box, if you see it at the store, it says never play by yourself? Is there really a danger in that? Or is that just something they say to add spookiness to it?
Say that again. I'm sorry. I keep getting a lot of distractions at home tonight.
I was talking about what it says on the board. One of the rules is never play on your own. And I wonder, is that really true, or is that just something they just say?
I think that's Hollywood crap.
That's Hollywood crap. I play with them by myself all the time.
Well,
I think it's Hollywood crap.
What she's really saying is she plays with herself all the time. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Well, nobody else will play with me, so why not?
The whole thing is set up to get this fear factor thing, to make it more exciting, all that kind of stuff. In normal paranormal research, and Kevin and I have done a lot, Catherine's done a lot, we know most of your time is pretty freaking boring. Am I right or wrong? Yeah,
we don't get stuff a lot of the times.
You might get something, but it's not like it's Zach Bagan. It's like, oh god.
No, we don't get stick figures doing the robot dance on
But the point is that of course they hype it up, like with the Ouija board, Why do ghost hunters prefer to go to abandoned houses or abandoned mausoleums or old funeral homes or cemeteries, and they want to do it in the dark, And why did the older times, and back in the Victorian age, it was all about the candles, and that kind of stuff. You set the tone, so you're building your psyche up in anticipation of this stuff. I've had a bunch of experiences, but I tell you what, the majority of my experiences were in broad daylight. I've had some at
I've
night,
had some broad daylight.
but there was like HD quality broad daylight stuff, and it was when I wasn't trying to find a communication.
yeah,
But these two guys next to me over here, those two guys, I went with them to a cemetery over near the Georgia border, this little child's playhouse grave. In broad daylight, they're doing this session, sitting in front of this dollhouse, and in broad daylight, inside this locked up house with windows, comes what? What happened, Catherine?
I'm sorry, did what now? That
Name.
knocking that I thought was you.
What
And,
happened at that
I
time?
Yeah,
looked
the-
over and it wasn't you, and it was
the
like, well,
knocking.
shit.
Broad daylight. What happened right there?
there was a
Broad
knocking
daylight.
from the inside.
You see the screen?
Yeah, right there.
I'm talking to Catherine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I see that. I see that screen.
What happened? What happened? What happened to y'all there? What did y'all get?
We got knocking.
Yeah, tell them the story.
Well,
Please.
Kevin and I was sitting there. It's on video. We have it on video, and I'm sitting there, and Kevin and I are talking, and we're just talking to Nadine, and all of a sudden we hear a knock, and I look at Kevin, and we were kind of just okay. We didn't really hear that, and it happened again, and I said, "Where's Kelsey?" Because I was blaming it on Kelsey,
Mhm.
and it wasn't Kelsey. It
I
was
wasn't. I was walking around filming in the graveyard.
and he was a long way away from us. Even if he had knocked, we would have never heard it. I mean, but it was coming from inside the house, and
Very much. When I reviewed their film, it was very much inside that, locked up, sealed up.
Yes.
That thing probably hadn't been opened up in decades. There was clearly nothing in there to move, but you could distinctly hear it on the video. I can imagine them sitting right in front of that door doing this, how it sounded.
Yeah. And then later on, when I asked, and this is without the spirit box, when I asked Nadine, was that you? Or I think that's what I asked. And you hear a little voice say, yes. Like a little girl standing right beside me. They're saying, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we got a disembodied voice there, too.
So the reason I bring all that up is because of the question about why not do it alone and those kind of things. Personally, this planet and people on this planet have been around for thousands of years. Okay. In my opinion, people have died and had catastrophe about every square mile of this planet at some point in time in history. That's proven because archaeologists even to dig up for a Walmart, they'll find a grave. Right?
Yeah.
So the potential and the spirit realm's not locked into a location. Give me a break. You don't have to go to a cemetery to talk to a ghost. You don't have to go. You can just sit. Huff Paranormal on YouTube has 1 million followers, 1 million subscribers. He never leaves home, and he talks to every famous person that ever died within 24 hours. He's got them on the
As soon as
line.
they're dead, they're on the box talking.
Michael Jackson died and right away they're on the phone with him saying, "Hey, yeah, it's cool over here on this side there, Huff." So bottom line is, I don't think you have to go anywhere. You can come and sit at my desk and we can talk to the other realm. So a lot of you get is Hollywood crap and novel fiction stuff, and it's meant to build up and make your heart race and all the anxiety. And of course,
talking about doing something on your own ghost wise, I mean, I spent a whole night by myself in what's been called the most haunted house in Mississippi over there, Cedar Grove and Vicksburg. There were no guests there, and the staff leaves at a certain time. So I had the whole house to myself that night. And you better believe it. I had it live on Facebook. I walked all around that house doing spirit boxes. I got a female voice talking to me. I got a man. There was a man's cough up on the second floor. And I rushed up there and nobody was there. And I mean, and I didn't come away possessed by anything.
You sure?
But I was respectful to. Yes, I'm sure. but I was very respectful. I thanked them for having me there as their guest, and I spent the night there. I slept there, but I spent 3 nights there. But that night I was on my own. There were no other guests in that house.
All right, so I'm going to play that video.
Okay, play that video.
I just found it. I just want to make sure I could find it. So are you set? Because go back over here.
I was gonna say, if I can do that in a haunted house, I'm sure I did. Like I heard them talk on a Ouija board.
Yeah,
by
Playful
myself.
Rain wanted to go watch this. So Playful Rain, I'm gonna share it with you right now. I'm gonna share it with you, and let's see, share screen. I'm gonna get the audio so you can hear it, and I'm gonna find it here, and we're gonna go straight to it. Are you ready? Watch carefully.
Was that a knock?
Uh-huh. Where's Kelsey?
He's over there in the car.
That was definitely a knock.
He's over there, and we're the only other two here. That is a knock. And that's very rhythmic. I don't think that's the wind, do you think?
No.
Hi, Nadine. Is that you knocking at us?
There's the voice.
Let me kind of slide around.
As soon as I asked, "Is that you knock at us?" you hear her say, "Yes."
Yeah, we're definitely hearing some. I don't hear it on this side. You still hear it?
Nadine? Is that you knocking?
People have even left coins out here for her to play with. And Hershey's Kisses.
There's a guitar pick in there.
All right. Well, at least we got some knocking. That was interesting.
That's good. We got some knocking over here.
Inside?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we
Did
heard
you hear it real loud?
little hand knock.
'Cause I was over by the car drinking this and trying to
Yeah.
feel better.
All right, everybody. That's what I call a happy haunting. I'm going.
It's hard to tell out here in this sign.
Was that a knock?
Uh-huh. Where's Kelsey?
He's over there in the car.
That was definitely a knock.
He's over there, and we're the only other two here. That is a knock. And that's very rhythmic. I don't think that's the wind, do you think?
No.
Hi, Nadine. Is that you knocking at us?
It's hard to tell out here in this sign.
Was that a knock?
Uh-huh. Where's Kelsey?
He's over there in the car.
That was definitely a knock.
He's over there, and we're the only other two here. That is a knock. And that's very rhythmic. I don't think that's the wind, do you think?
Nope.
Hi, Nadine. Is that you knocking at us?
So you see, that was a very well built little playhouse.
Yes.
There was nothing on that playhouse that could blow in the wind and make a knock. There was just nothing there. There was nothing loose on that building. None of the awning, the windows were, everything was solid. Clearly, there was nothing inside. There were windows all the way around it. You could see. That was broad daylight. And keep in mind, even though he was doing on the side there, a little spirit box thing, I think, weren't you, Kevin?
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with a spirit box.
That was off at that time.
That was just sitting there looking and filming. That was it. So no
Yeah.
tool was needed, and it was broad daylight, and everybody heard that knock. It was just evident as the day is long. It was just right in your face.
Well, Kevin and I both possess some kind of sixth sense, and for some reason, when Kevin and I are together, we can, like, I don't know, they just kind of are there.
Yeah, and I get a lot of child ghosts around me, so it didn't surprise me that Nadine came out and checked us out.
Well, do you remember the picture that I took of the clouds that day? And my best friend's father had passed away, and the picture in the clouds, it was exactly him. I mean, like,
I forgot about that.
and
Do you
then
remember that?
that was taken over Chelsea, right over where he lived, was born and raised, and died.
Oh,
And
Kevin, what's the name of you remember the name of that cemetery?
I was about to see.
He's gonna check on that for you, Playful Rain.
I don't remember the name of the town now that we went to.
I know it was between Alexander City and Sylacauga.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, we turned off the.
It was pretty close to the Georgia border.
It's in Lynette, Alabama. Yeah, it's
Mhm,
just
mhm.
minutes from the border,
Mhm.
and it's. I'm trying to see the name of the cemetery. It's called Oakwood Cemetery.
Boy, that Oakwood, that's a common name for a lot of
Yeah.
cemeteries.
It's a lot of Oakwoods.
Yeah.
Well, we've caught a lot of interesting things on camera. Go back to my spoon pictures where I caught the spirits inside the
Well,
spoons.
do you have them? I don't have them. Oh, wait a minute. I know how to find them, though.
They're on Abnormal Alabama.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, let's see, I've caught that on camera. We also caught in the graveyard on the infrared camera the cross going up and the spirit leaving creating the cross and the spirit dashing
Mhm.
out.
Mhm.
Elizabeth actually was with me when we caught that.
And I got that
Oh,
disembodied whistle in the woods behind Camorga, like somebody was right next to me and whistled, and that's on camera, on video. And that was broad daylight, noon.
Yep. We need to
And,
compile all our stuff together on the all the videos together. I mean, I think we beat Zach Bagan.
Well, I mean, not only that, the dolls that moved on this very show.
yeah,
I mean, that we got a lot of stuff over the years, right?
Yeah, we have.
yeah, I've got a lot of stuff.
I mean, so that tells you that maybe we need to be Zach Bagan's style.
Yeah, come on, Travel Channel.
Where are you, Travel Channel? I mean, you've got 3 of the top people here.
Well, you got. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I got to do something here.
Oh, Playful Rain just said she's getting ready to go to Bonaventure. I love Bonaventure. I took when I went out, I took a little toy ball to, what's her name that has the statue, the little girl. Kevin, come on now.
Kevin.
Um,
Kevin. While you're doing that, I'm going to
um,
talk about this for a second. Oh, go ahead.
Bonaventure Cemetery. Gracie Watson. I took they say take a little toy out there and leave it on her grave and she might speak to you. And I felt like she was there. I mean, I didn't get any voices on the video, but I left a little toy ball for her.
Right.
And then I visited Corrine, the other haunted statue there in Bonaventure. But that is a beautiful cemetery, and they filmed several movies there.
Several years ago, we had a wedding at the Natural Bridge on the edge of Bankhead Forest up toward Walker and Weston counties. And at this Natural Bridge, they had a little gift store and whatnot there. And we're there early ahead of the couple that's supposed to be there. And as usual, Catherine's playing with her camera. I'm inside talking to this lady that worked there. And Catherine is just outside, just taking pictures of everything she can find. And somebody had made a little wind chime thing out of an old knife, fork, spoon type thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
and look at what she got in broad daylight again. As she, no ghost hunting. We weren't out there saying we're going to find a ghost, but look at this. Do you see that face?
Yeah, I
In the
see the
spoon?
face there. I thought you were gonna play a video.
Well,
Yeah, I remember that
and
picture.
the interesting thing about it, this is before we met Kevin. And when I saw Kevin's face, I thought he was in that spoon.
I've been accused of it being my face,
And
And no,
but
no.
but let me tell you why it could not be my face. I want you to go to the kitchen right now and pick up a spoon. I want you to look at your reflection in that picture.
Not only that, the spoon is not even pointed towards you; it's bent to
No,
to the side.
Right.
it looks
know.
like a hoot owl's face.
And if it was my face, it would have had a camera in instead of a face in it.
That looks like an owl.
To me, it looks like a witch.
A witch, yeah,
Yeah.
I see that too.
And did you find the second picture of the same spoon?
I'll keep looking. Go ahead and keep talking. I'll keep looking.
There's a second picture of this. Anyway, they actually took these spoons this one time down and trashed it, and I wish they would have let me have it. They trashed it because there was a spirit in it, and they were very superstitious.
Oh, the lady that worked there would not even come outdoors.
No, they were scared. But you know, me, I'm over there. I want to take it home with me. Sell it to me, you know.
And they
But
wouldn't
keep
sell it.
keep in mind, she at one time said that about me too. So she lives dangerously.
Oh my goodness! It does not playful rain. It looks like a witch face. But if you look at a spoon, if a spoon is a concaved shape, and if it was your reflection, that would have been upside down.
It wouldn't be like that. No, that would be. I can't find the second picture, but I think we get the point on that. Should I show the video of the dolls again?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, so let me pull that up so I can get that. I'm just gonna do it from the website here. It'll be easiest.
And
Easiest. Where is it? Was here a minute ago?
a YouTuber named Chills put that in one of his top 10 videos.
Yeah, you showed that. Now it was just here.
The face in the spoon was at not
Natural Bridge.
Natural Bridge.
Yeah,
It wasn't a
Natural
cave,
Bridge
Natural
in
Bridge, yeah.
in Alabama. What is that?
It's right up there, Winston County.
Winston County. I was thinking Fayette, but it's Winston.
Right as you enter into the Bankhead Forest.
Yeah.
That's where it was. Okay, let me pull up these dolls. For those of you who have not yet seen that, let me get this set up. Everybody pays close attention to this. This happened right on this show back in 2019.
Show.
We weren't prepared for it. And
you won't be either.
So I'm going to add the sound of this. So we'll probably be muted. Let me see. Home, Abnormal, Alabama. And I got that. Can you see it?
No, you got the pictures in front of it.
What'd you say?
You have the spoon picture right in front of it.
Oh. Hold on.
There, I took it down.
Okay, I messed that up, so I got to start over here. I hit a button that's the wrong one.
He pressed the wrong one.
What did I do? Okay, we'll get rid of that. There it is right there. We ready? Let's go again. Where's the dang it?
Where did they go?
They had all kinds of dolls that were haunted, were supposedly haunted. They had death masks. They actually had a cap they would put on death row inmates when they got the chair. I mean, it was bizarre, and I thought, yeah.
What happened?
Like 20 seconds ago, I thought, yeah. I ignored it. Because I thought it was my eyes.
I do really.
It was this one right here, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Screen. I
Yeah.
didn't see. I missed it.
I
was just trying to see the head kind of wobble like it was trying to turn.
yeah.
Okay.
I thought my eyes were playing with me.
Joe, you want to take that one home with you?
As long as it's temporary. They had death masks. They actually had a the cap they would put on death row inmates when they got the chair. I mean, it was bizarre, and I thought, yeah,
What happened?
like 20 seconds ago, I thought, yeah,
All right,
I ignored it. I ignored it because I thought it was
Alabama, and we're going to build a museum on it.
that'll be cool.
It's going to be a haunted museum and a Bigfoot museum, artifacts, and for storytelling and that kind of stuff.
Right. I had recently went up to West Virginia to the what was it called? The Afterlife Museum, the Archive of the Afterlife Museum. That place was really interesting. They had all kinds of dolls that were haunted, were supposedly haunted. They had death masks. They actually had a the cap they would put on death row inmates when they got the chair. I mean, it was bizarre, and I thought, yeah,
What happened?
like 20 seconds ago, I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think everybody saw that. Yeah,
I
yeah.
still
Kevin,
have those dolls in
that
there. And
that very night we gifted those dolls to Kevin. Is that right?
yes, I still got them in there.
Yeah, because that's back when we had the office before COVID, and we used to do
Yeah.
this in the office at a conference table, and so we would have people drop by because we were kind of known in the area for what we're involved in because we'd throw this big Bigfoot convention, Bigfoot paranormal convention, and occasionally somebody would just drop by the office and say, "Well, isn't that what happened, Catherine? Somebody just dropped by and gave us some
No,
stuff."
no, those were from JD.
Okay.
Yeah, those were from that guy.
Tell the story. I don't remember it.
JD is a buddy of mine that's a doll collector, and he's a private doll collector and haunted item collector. And
Okay.
occasionally he'll give me items to rehome, and I will rehome them.
And we rehomed them with Saint Kevin.
Saint Kevin, and there's
So I
right in
keep
here.
some of them. Some of them I keep, but some of them I feel like they'd be safer at other places. And
Well, you got to understand, Catherine and I, we attract evil.
and
I attract
so
good.
so I think that sometimes it's better for cute things that are, like Kevin's got several of my dolls, don't you?
Yeah.
That I've passed along. Trying to remember all of them.
Yeah, there's that big, real pretty little girl with the bonnet and dress that's in there in my bedroom.
We
Yes.
float down here.
And I also now I have a haunted chair, and
Oh, we picked that up on the side of the road. Isn't that the
I
one?
did. Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember sitting in that.
Oh God, yes, it never recovered.
Oh, I set myself up for his little crack.
It's actually sitting in my hallway
Well,
right now.
better to set yourself up for my little crack than your big crack.
I mean, I have several haunted items that are. I even have haunted dishes.
I'm waiting on Kevin to say something else.
You ever see anybody have haunted dishes?
Well, I've got a couple of little. Well, I got a little creamer pitcher and a little something else that came from a haunted hotel.
Oh yeah,
I've not had anything happen with them.
I had a dish. I buried her and
And let's see what else.
What happened to sweet haunted Caroline?
Kelsey has her.
I got her.
Okay.
I got her. Yeah.
He also has my Annabelle, and he has several of my dolls
And
my-
more.
and
And
stuff.
more. And more.
Oh,
more. Hello, Kevin.
And then my dad actually has about 6 or 8 of my dolls, because I've run out of room in my home. But
Hello, everyone.
if things work out the way I want them to, maybe I'll have a whole room of nothing but haunted items.
Okay, so this Playful Rain wants to know, how do you know the chair's haunted?
How do I know the chair's haunted? The chair is haunted with Emma.
Emma.
Yeah,
I'm not
Emma lives.
Emma.
Emma lives in the chair. When I saw the chair sitting on the side of the road, I was drawn to it automatically, and there was an old woman sitting in the chair.
I'm not old.
She is old, and she was reading a book. And
I don't read. I'm illiterate.
okay, stop. Anyway, she was sitting in the chair reading the book, and I talked to the old woman, like just like she was there was a real woman, human being sitting there, and so she introduced herself as Emma, and she's been living in my house since.
It's so rude to call somebody old.
Do you remember when I first saw that chair that night at the studio? And I looked over at it when y'all wanted me to go over and sit in it and see if I got a feeling. As soon as I looked at it, I heard an old woman's voice say, Agatha Christie.
Yeah, well, it
Remember
was
that?
horrible. It was horrible because he walked in, he saw the chair, and he said, I've got a fart. And he sat down in the chair.
See, he's ruining a good story here.
No, really and truly, he sensed something in that. Catherine, you didn't even have to point the chair out to him, did you?
No, I don't think I did.
And she didn't tell me she saw her sitting there reading, and yet I heard Agatha Christie in my head. And then I had a feeling of, what was it, 1940s or something, that might have been when she had owned it or sat in it and read her book.
Yep, actually, the chair came from what's that place called?
You're talking about down in outside of Auburn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Opelika.
Opelika, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And that's where that chair came from.
This is a haunted cross.
Haunted cross.
You see how it's made?
It's made out of some kind of little sticks, twigs, something.
No, that's wire.
Wire, okay.
And inside rocks, just wire rocks.
Oh, yeah, I see the rocks.
And then there's a kind of a heart metal plate with a skeleton key on it.
Oh,
Oh.
the skeleton key.
Believe me, every time I see Kevin, I've got this with me.
Hey, I got me one for Kelsey here. Here we go. To fight the forces of evil.
In the name of Hashgabahu.
I believe it or not, I actually have a cross hanging in my house, on my wall.
On her wall.
I used to have a collection of crosses that hung on the wall. They were all old and stuff. I've got them put away now.
Why is it? See, tomorrow's my birthday. You go back and count the number of times she said old, 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 old chair, old lady, old. I got old.
Did I call you an old man?
No, but I know how you throw that subtle shit out there. I get it, I get it,
Yeah.
Just make it yours. Make a drinking game. Every time she says old, take a drink. And
so we've got just a few minutes left. I just want to ask, and I want to get I know Playful Rain's there. Has anybody enjoyed this show at all? Should we continue doing this show, or should we just give it up?
I'm not giving it up. I don't care if anybody enjoys it or not. I enjoy it.
Lucian says, "Enjoy the show."
Enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Hello, Lucian. I have not seen you in a while, my friend.
So we are slowly. We had a lot of stuff happening in the wedding business. We have been made an offer that we could not refuse. So we are now managing. We've pretty much taken over a venue up in Hayden, Alabama, and in fact, I've got to get up there because I got to get the keys. But and that's, today we just we just closed the deal yesterday, and literally I've sat here on the computer going through leads, setting up appointments and all this stuff, just literally all day long. So that's been rocking. We brought on a new girl that's working with Catherine, and she's a sweetheart and just as quirky and crazy as we are.
Oh yes, I'm loving her.
And she's better looking than Catherine and I, either one. Sorry, Catherine. But then again, she's
Bite
young.
me.
Playful Rain says, "Don't drop the show. Continue." Okay.
And I look damn good to be almost my age in 10 days.
I look damn good to be still alive.
I mean, come on. I mean, it took a lot of work to get these wrinkles and these gray hairs. And you know what? I'm not going to dye it either.
Well, I tell everybody I learned something a long time ago that really helps me as I age. On my birthday, I treat myself to one thing, and that is a lower wattage light bulb for my vanity. So it helps. You get up in the morning, you see less flaws, you look better, and it makes your day go a lot better instead of using those real bright lights around your vanity. Just I'm down to a candle now.
So you see less and less in the mirror.
Like now I'm pretty much shaving in the dark.
I
I feel, yeah, I missed a spot. Okay. But I appreciate that. All the above. Kevin Kane is here with us, and he is myhauntedDolls.com. We go on
Yes.
adventures. We try to have fun. We haven't done much lately. I've been very busy, and then COVID knocked a loop in a lot of things. But more adventures will come eventually. Kevin brought an adventure to us when he went up to Connecticut over Halloween, and he went to see the family of the Warrens and actually visited the Warrens at their graves.
Yes, I did.
In the dark,
Out
no
there on
less.
video.
And then he
In
came
the
back with
dark.
he came back with a REM pod. He stood and got a selfie with Annabelle. So
Yeah.
that was fun and interesting, and we were warriors to that trip, but we enjoyed
Warriors to that tree.
the voyeurism. Just an update. Still waiting. I think they took Chip to the hospital. Chip and Kayleen are now in Virginia. They're Alabamians, and they've been part of Abnormal Alabama. Kayleen used to meet us at the office and participate. And
There's my
there's
picture.
Kevin. But anyway, tonight, Chip was injured and taken to the hospital emergency room by paramedics. So just want to put that out there. He's got some serious surgery coming up.
Yes.
And so send out some good vibes that way. I don't beg, and I don't like to beg, but he's an artist, and he's got a lot of serious stuff coming up. There is always a financial need if you can buy one. He's a heck of an artist, by the way. His Facebook page is Chip Hudson Art. Just go Chip Hudson Art and find him. And they have set up a GoFundMe page to help fund his freaking surgeries coming up. I want to share, and I don't know if Kevin saw this or not, but he would like this if he didn't. Here is a recent photograph. Look at this. You got to see this. This is pretty good. He did, because like I said, he is an artist. So Kevin, and
Yes.
he does this. So this is how he makes his living. Okay, folks. Did that show up? Where did that show up?
I know. When I put my Annabelle picture up there, it was saying there were too many. So I
Oh, is that
deleted
one?
one of
Okay. Let me
I deleted
delete.
one of my old ones.
Let me delete another one then. Oh,
Just
we
don't
got.
don't delete my picture right there, the one that's on there now. I finally
Okay,
got
let
it
me
where I
see.
like
Let
it.
me see if I can get this up here now. 'Cause I really want to show this for Chip. It's going this time. He just did this piece of art. If you can help old Chip out, buy some of his work. That's why he lives. Okay.
Oh, Michael.
And he told me he couldn't do a portrait. I said, "What are you talking about? I'm going to send you some wedding pictures. That's a portrait there, right?"
Yeah.
So anyway, Chip Hudson sent some good vibes their way, and they got a lot of stuff going on due to his health issues. And we wish them the very best, and of course, a speedy recovery from his adventure tonight that ended up at the hospital. So it is 1 minute to 9 o'clock. Any last words, folks?
Any
Don't
last
forget,
words?
don't forget if you need a Ouija board to let me know.
She builds them.
Build them, and we
She built them.
And don't
make
forget to
them-
go to myhauntedDolls.com.
And datingthedead.com and the Wish Doctor. See right there, thewhishdr.com. Put your intentions out to the universe and you go there and read the reviews people have written about these machines. Go read the reviews. And I make them very affordable for you, too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the big hour coming up in seconds, 9 o'clock now.
Good evening.
Peace and love.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Ladies and gentlemen. do your what's his name? You know, you've almost got that look. Alfred Hitchcock. Turn sideways.
Alfred Hitchcock. I can't do Alfred Hitchcock.
All right, folks. We're gonna be here next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, same time, same place with a different story. Good night.
Good night.